Did you even take a swing?
No.
Could have taken her, Dad.
I also feel like the film gives like a great role to like more mature characters, like when we have Hutch and David like side to side, compared to other films in which like the main characters are younger. So was that planned from the beginning, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was planned in the beginning for a couple of reasons. First, it's Bob's idea. So it came from his experiences and all of his experiences in his life, I suppose. But secondly, I think you're right. I mean, also with Chris Lloyd, right? Like, if you really think about Hutch's dad's character in the movie, he's in the same place, but like 25 years older. Yeah. Not living his best self, and all he wants to do is kind of have a reason to get back to it. And you know, and that's a great message as well. So I actually think that's cool. You know, also, you know, the soundtrack that Ilya and we figured out for the film, that it being a throwback, was purposeful with regards to the age of the actors, and you know, them being throwbacks, and the idea that, you know, they were people of they're dudes of principle, they're guys of, like, you know, a code, and sort of reminiscent of times past.
I think that Hutch is a really cool character, and I think that you get to play these very interesting characters a lot. But what was your first impression of him?
Well, I helped create this story. And Derek Kolstad wrote it. He wrote John Wick, and he blew it up into a big, fantastic story where I'm fighting with the Russian mob. So I was giddy when I read that script. It made me smile. As violent as it is, it's just a kind of a crazy joyride. And I think the movie feels like the way it felt when I read the script.
Heard you had some excitement last night. I wish they'd have picked my place, you know?
Kelly just told me that, because I asked her about these scenes in which we have Hutch and David side to side in these really cool action scenes, and she told me it was all of your idea. But I feel like it's great, like giving tons of action to these mature characters, because we usually get to see like younger ones. So can you tell me more a little bit about that?
I think that, you know, older people oftentimes do feel set aside. And so their opportunity to be effective, to take action, and to be important, in this case, in a mythic tale of violence and vengeance, but in the world too, you know, it's a bit of that's why a movie like this can make people happy, is it's a kind of it's a fantasy, a wish fulfillment of like being powerful and pushing back, and not being set aside. In the case of Christopher Lloyd's character, he's just in that home and sitting there all day watching movies. Now he gets to go out and take action.
I think that almost all action characters out there right now are our age. I mean, literally all of them. They're all like right in the middle or later. So, I mean, I think that there is a reason for why, you know, it's interesting to see someone you can relate to do pretty fantastic things, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You okay? Because you don't look okay.
And do you think there are any chances we're getting to see Hutch in action again, and maybe even alongside Becca?
Right? That's what I want. Like, Becca's got to join. She knows a lot about what's gone on in his life before. She's got a lot to give. That's the hope. So fingers crossed that we're able to do another one. It would be awesome.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I think that the ending gives us a hint about Becca being like involved in Hutch's plans. So is that a hint to future projects or like their relationship? Or what can you tell us about that?
Well, I really hope that this film does well so we can do number 2, because I think we have a lot of fun plans for that. That could be super fun to do.
What is happening?
Don't call 911.
Apart from like the characters being like normal people that can be action heroes and all this thing about being like a really entertaining thing to make, what would you say is the most special thing about Nobody compared to other action films?
The character actually gets hurt and even hurts himself. When he tries to hit somebody, he misses and he hits his head on a bar on the bus. You'd never see John Wick do that. You know, he's sort of a real guy to almost to a fault. He's a little afraid the whole time, and you could feel that inside him. He is not sure he's going to win. And as he goes and he gets hit and beaten and bloodied, he gets more and more broken down. So he accrues all these wounds over time. And that's just not something you've seen in an action movie in decades.
Nobody! It's nobody! It's nobody!